Hey Survivors, this is SuperZombGBBQ. We're going to talk about Season 5 today. Why? Because it is coming up to the time of year where we get excited about a brand new season stroke game for WWE SuperCard. In fact, we had it earlier on this year with WWE 2K19, which ended up being a lot better than a lot of people expected. But with WWE SuperCard, there have been a lot of criticisms about the gameplay, about some of the features in the game, and on top of that, the stats and number of tiers and difficulty to get to those levels for newer players. So we're going to talk about what we know so far, because official news hasn't actually come out. In fact, Cat Daddy and 2K themselves have not officially confirmed the existence of the game yet, but the likelihood is it is probably coming very, very soon. What we're going to do today though is cover off everything we know so far. So if you liked what you see in this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on. And this is what we know so far about WWE SuperCard Season 5. First off, there is likely to be a new or updated logo. Now in every single SuperCard release, Season 1, 2, 3 and 4, there is a brand new logo. Gives it a little bit of a new lick of paint. But if you've noticed on WWE SuperCard's Twitter, a new version of the logo has been used since Goliath tier. Whilst there are not many changes, it is noticeably different to the Season 3 and Season 4 dash style of the logo. On the other parts of promotional items they are using the older Season 4 logo, which is a little bit confusing. This new logo, it seems, is only used on their Twitter profile picture, and it looks like a much cleaner style, and potentially could be the new logo for Season 5 or the game going forward. Now this isn't exactly new, there have been brand new logos for every single game as mentioned, almost like a mix of Season 1 and Season 4. Now the next point is a graphics update or overhaul. Recently on Twitter, a picture was posted showing a new credit and top bar within the game. It's believed that this is part of an overhaul of the game's UI and hidden items from pictures since then, such as card backs and other items, seem to indicate more is coming. WWE SuperCard again haven't confirmed any of this or even given any kind of hint, but it certainly looks different to the current look of the game. We'll have to wait and see. Now this would be the first time that the UI has had a major overhaul since Season 3. Next point, it will launch after November 7th. Now a lot of speculation has been when the game will launch. A lot of people are saying it's going to be mid-November, just before Survivor Series, but the current event, Halloween Trick or Treat, finishes at the latter date of the 7th of November. The last event, if you remember, finished pretty much on Halloween in 2017. It's been speculated that it will be released in the week of Survivor Series, as it has done for the last 2 years, but no official date or even rumoured date has been mentioned as of yet. One of the more important points is it will likely not be a reset. A point almost as heated as Brexit with WWE SuperCard community has been between some of the more passionate fans of the game about whether there should finally be a reset to the game. Something like this occurred between Season 1 and Season 2, where all Season 1 cards were effectively made unusable, for the game to start again with brand new features, including enhancement, games played leveling, and tokening. There is also a specific divide between an imperfect and perfect pro. Well, you'd be thinking, why is this a problem? Because we've got lots of new features. It happens in sports games like FIFA and NFL every single year, so why is it a problem for WWE? Well, it wasn't explained until 3 days before the game was released, and not to mention it was promised in advance that this would not happen. Plus additional promises like continued events going forward into Season 2 for your Season 1 cards were not fulfilled, and they restricted the amount of cards that could be moved across, which really wasn't an excuse. On top of that, they changed some of the arrows to balance the game out more, which meant that certain cards were not the same when moved over from Season 1 to Season 2. Oh, and not to mention they did not inform players about how to properly level and train their cards. That was fun. The concern of some players is this could happen again. No, whilst it hasn't really been discussed by Cat Daddy publicly in interviews, including one with Bad Lad Dad, they have said that they will never reset the game in that manner again because of the backlash that was suffered. The link to that interview is in the little eye in the top right hand screen.
Season 1 to Season 2, what we wanted to do is we did so I'll give you the honest scoop on this.
Yeah, go for it.
We did an NBA game, and on an NBA game we do a reset every year, and so on that reset we take away everybody's cards every year, and everybody was fine with it. We tried not to do that with Season 1 to Season 2 with WWE, and so we wanted to kind of be able to say, hey, we're gonna go from Season 1 to Season 2 and not take away your cards. You'll still have them, but you just won't be able to use them. But we wanted to at least kind of get to keep them. Yeah. And we found out that was definitely not what the fan base wanted, and we quickly learned our lesson. And so I promise from now on, as we go through these, as we are doing with Season 4, you won't lose any of your cards, you won't lose your credits, and I promise we won't make that mistake again.
To add to this, WWE 2K19 has just released with QR codes in every copy of the game, meaning if this was to happen, they would have made every card, including the Standard, Deluxe, and Woo editions, obsolete. So I'm pretty sure that isn't going to happen. The next point is that some cards will probably get removed. For the first time, Season 4 saw wrestlers removed from the game, and sometimes cards actually removed from the catalogue. Now this is likely to continue in Season 5 with plenty of other notable names leaving the company in the last year or two. The other problem is stats and tiers. The general opinion is there are simply too many and the numbers are too high. What has been put forward as an idea would be to squash the stats and remove some of the lower tiers, as this would enable new players to pick up the game and stay interested. The other evidence this could happen is due to a number of cards in lower tiers handed out, including rarer throwback, Hall of Fame fusion, and special event cards. This could be a way of trying to avoid a backlash. The penultimate point is that the fusion chamber will change. Currently you cannot enable more than one fusion at a time, which has caused stress and frustration with quite a few players, as you can understand. The fusion chamber, as you may be aware, has many different types, going from all the way from common all the way up to SummerSlam 18, plus including some event style. What I say by event style is they release certain types of events such as spring, summer, Halloween and winter. Based off of a message that was posted on Twitter in response to a person pointing out this frustration, Cat Daddy seemingly have plans to alter the chamber or alternatively allow more than one at a time. It's about time. And the last point is that we will not know anything official until the beginning of November or end of October. Now this is a simpler point, and I want to end off on this because there's a lot of speculation going around, a lot of rumours that are going around, and 2K are just not going to release details of a newer game when existing special events are ongoing. For example, Trick or Treat stuff. The game, like any, thrives on usage, purchases, and adverts watched to obtain bouts, title matches, and more. What 2K and Cat Daddy probably don't want to have is the same effect that goes with most sports games when they reset every single year when a new title comes out, and that is the player base simply leaving in their droves because they know that they're not really going to gain anything from playing the game much further. By announcing Season 5 earlier, it is likely a lot of the fan base will simply stop playing until the release date. So it's incredibly likely we are not going to know anything until about 1 to 2 weeks before the game's release. So that confirms everything we know so far about WWE SuperCard Season 5. If you enjoyed this video and you got your own comments in the comment section below, also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and I will see you in the next one.